Hi guys, welcome to Ginny Box. As you can see, this is the first lady we have on the channel, and I'll let her introduce herself to you so that we can get straight into it. All right.
Hi guys, my name is Maya. I'm a dental hygienist. I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad to be the first lady on here.
Most definitely.
So yeah,
Thank
can't
you so
wait.
much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. So tell us, how did you get into Canada, and just tell us, how did you get here?
Okay, so I came to Canada in 2013 through sponsorship from my father. I came with my mother, so I've been here for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Ghana before I came here. Um, I haven't been back, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
And yeah, what was my life like? Did you ask that?
Yeah. So what part of Ghana did you stay?
I stayed in Abeka, Accra.
Abeka La Paz.
Yeah, La Paz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in La Paz for my entirety of my life. My grandma lives in Nima.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What part of Nima? Do you know?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but you've been there before, right?
I've been there multiple times, but
Oh,
I
that's
honestly
good.
don't remember which part of
Okay. Well,
Nima.
maybe I might help you. Maybe around Kanda there about.
Yeah, Kanda. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where my grandma
All
lives.
right, that's
Yeah,
great. That's
yeah,
really great.
yeah.
And so with this, do you remember the school you've been to?
Yes. In Ghana, I went to Madrima Montessori Academy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only school I ever went to.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go with my cousins, Junior and Iman.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was my
That's it.
school.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, at what time did you know that you were leaving Ghana?
I actually found out very late. My mom didn't tell me because I guess she didn't want me to go tell everybody
Yeah,
that I
most
was
definitely.
leaving the country. So I think we were supposed to leave on like a Thursday or Wednesday, and my mom had told me only on the Sunday, like the week before,
Wow.
that we were going to Canada. So I didn't know. None of my friends at school knew.
You knew.
Nobody knew.
Nobody
I
knew.
only knew last minute. So like most of my friends from Makaranta, which is like an Arabic school where we learn to read the Quran.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to tell most of them because I didn't even know about it. And the
Yeah.
last day of Makaranta was Sunday, so I didn't find out until Sunday. So unfortunately, most of them didn't know I was leaving the country. So yeah, it was until like I think Monday I told some of my school friends that my last day was gonna be like on Wednesday.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so it was very abrupt for me.
And I think that was really a calculated move by your mom.
Yeah, very, very, very
calculated, because why would she wait till Sunday?
Right?
Yeah.
But to be very fair, I was quite young. I was only 13. So to her, she just felt like I would just run around and
Yeah,
tell
most
everybody
definitely. It's true.
that
It's
I
true.
was leaving the country. So just for her own sanity, so she decided to tell me
It's
late.
true. It's
Yeah.
true. I get that because sometimes, not just your case, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they live in Ghana or anywhere, they don't say nothing. They don't tell anybody
Until last minute.
Until last minute.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. So I kind of understand you totally, and I
Yeah.
understand your mom as well.
Yeah.
So how did you take it hearing it last minute yourself? How did you feel? How did you feel about it?
I was shocked because like I just never thought that I would come to Canada for some
You
weird
never
reason.
thought?
I never thought.
Come on.
So I don't know. We're doing a lot of back and forths with all the biometrics, the passports, all that stuff. But I don't know. I just never thought that Canada was in
your list.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that, but I just never assumed that Canada would be on the list. But yeah, when I found out we're coming down here, I was quite shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. I was happy. But yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, me actually, I can't say that I went through the same thing, but because I knew every step of the way that
You were coming.
I was coming.
Yeah.
I knew that I was gonna come, but I didn't know when actually, right? Because I think my process was around 2019, so
Okay.
it was because of the COVID. Everything slowed up,
Right.
so we had to redo it again
Right.
when everything ceased, when COVID ceased, right? So that's how come. So I knew actually that I was gonna be here eventually, but I didn't know when.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So that was my case.
I see.
And when I got to know that, I'm gonna leave this particular day, the feeling is, I'm sure you know the feeling as well,
Yeah.
right? So the feeling was good, and I didn't tell much of my friends. I'm somebody that do not speak a lot about, stuff like that. So
Right.
until I'm making the move or I'm ready to make the move is when I speak about stuff. So that's when I told, a few friends of mine. And then, yeah, my family, maybe just my mom telling
Yeah.
the rest of the
People,
family,
yeah.
but I didn't tell nobody in my family as
Right.
well. So yeah, that's it.
Was that your
Basically.
first time, like, getting on a plane?
Most definitely. That was my first time getting on the plane. That was my first time leaving Ghana shores, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I haven't traveled to anywhere else
Yeah.
aside here. So have you traveled to anywhere
Oh
else aside
no,
here?
I was also very scared.
You see?
Yeah.
So how was your what flight? Do you remember what flight you took?
I think we took, was it KLM? British Airways.
British Airways.
Yeah, British
Okay,
Airways.
so you had to transit up.
England. I
England,
don't
okay.
remember,
You don't-
but I know
okay.
it was somewhere in Europe, and then we came down.
So
Yeah.
how about the food in the flight? Do you
It was
remember?
disgusting. It was very nasty. And for someone
No,
who's
they're not
never
gonna
left,
be happy.
I
They're not
know.
gonna be happy about you right now.
And for someone who had just left, like never been anywhere before,
Yeah.
imagine eating Ghanaian food your entire
I love
life. And then you get on the plane and they're giving you mashed potatoes and some
That's crazy.
nasty chicken that is not seasoned.
But now
It
you
was
eat
just-
it, right? Or you still don't eat it?
It's still disgusting. Like very nasty. I traveled recently and I was not impressed by the
Yeah,
food.
you
But
know, the foods in the plane are
it's
not nice.
just not it.
Yeah. I mean, the seasoning is kind of different from what we
Exactly.
eat,
And it's
yeah.
like, what? Like, why? I guess we're not in first class, right?
Exactly.
So
Oh,
we
come
get,
on! Even with first class, I think
I
they're gonna
feel
serve
like-
the same meal.
I know, but I feel like they get preferential treatments,
true,
you know?
true,
Like they
true,
get
true,
good food.
true,
I've seen
true,
videos of
true.
people in first class and I think they actually get good food. So
So that means if you're gonna fly to, let's say, Ghana, or you're gonna opt to first class, or at
first
least business
class, that's like 3 times the amount for economy. Might as well like go back and forth like 3 times.
Most definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely not
All
first
right,
class.
no worries. All right, so where did you land?
Toronto Pearson Airport.
Pearson Airport. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how was do you remember how you were treated by the immigration officers or the border control? Do you remember?
To be very honest, I think my it was pretty smooth. And maybe my memory might be a little skewed because I was quite young when I first when I came here, and also maybe because I was with my mom, they were more gentler with us. But yeah, I don't remember it being chaotic. It was very smooth. Yeah.
That's good. Me too. When I came in, I also experienced it perfectly. Like I've always been saying. The immigration officer that handled my situation, she was a female, right?
Yeah.
She treated me nice, and then she was very polite. So yeah, even though certain people get intimidated, they say they get intimidated when they get into the country, and then, they feel the questions are too much, and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's normal. It's their country, so whatever they want to put to you gotta answer, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So.
That's very true.
Okay, so when you got out of the airport at first, what was the feeling like? Do you remember?
I would say even before getting into the airport, I would say, like, guys, I never went anywhere when I was back home. I think the first experience of me getting on an escalator was very interesting because, like, when you step on it and then it immediately takes you. Yeah, it was just very interesting. And coming here, landing here, the first experience, I don't know, it was just a whole lot of things going on. You're trying to navigate yourself through the airport, asking people, hey, where do we go? Because I had never gone anywhere, and neither has my mom. So yeah, it was just a lot of questions, asking people where to go. And yeah, finally I think we made it out, and then we saw my dad and my uncle. So yeah, that was just, it was just a lot of things to see. I would say it was just taking a lot of things in, but yeah, I how did I feel? I think I was overwhelmed. Yeah, I would say that's what it was. That's how I felt. I was very overwhelmed. Just felt like there was just a lot going on. Yeah.
So
how did you feel?
What did I feel? I came around September, right? So the cold was starting to approach. So when I got out of the airport, the cold that the wind that blew, the cold was, I knew that I was in a foreign place. This wasn't Africa. You understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my experience with the weather. So when my dad was driving us home, it's when I started looking around and all that, trying to, I was kind of grasping the Canadian, Canadian breeze, Yeah, so it was a good experience, and an experience that I know that I'll never get again. But but when I went to Ghana this year and then I go back, I didn't have the same the same experience with the weather because I came around in the summertime. So yeah, so I didn't quite fit. Well, the summer, unfortunately, the summer is so short.
It is short, but
it's short.
Temperature-wise, in comparison to Ghana,
sometimes this place gets hotter than Ghana.
It does. Yeah. It does. That was exactly why I asked you that, because I'm like, sometimes the heat here is insane. It gets really, really crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I think I somewhat missed what you were trying to ask. In terms of weather, when I came here, what was the weather like? We landed in February, and I remember there wasn't really much snow, but outside it was just, the trees were basically like,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. It was just dry, and it looked just ashy everywhere. So, it just felt like, what the hell is this? Like, I just went from Ghana, like where it's hot, and to come into a country that is supposed to be so pretty, and it just looks dead. Like, it just looked like there was nothing going on, not enough people outside. But yeah, it was just interesting and very cold too.
That's a nice experience. I'm sure. Our viewers are gonna enjoy coming to Canada. So in case if they want to come to Canada,
if
So from the airport, where did you guys go to?
I think we came straight home. We showered and then we just both knocked out. I was asleep for like a whole day because
the time difference. Your body clock has to
exactly just adjust to everything. That was it. And I think we ate homemade food. I'm sure you probably went to McDonald's.
Yeah. Not actually went to McDonald's. Well, my dad actually met me with McDonald's, so we didn't have to go there. You get me? Yeah, he had to. There's this restaurant that he bought me pasta.
Oh, nice.
And some fish. There's this way that they make it. Like, it was nice. That was the first meal that I ate in Canada here, right? Aside the McDonald's, right?
Okay.
Up to date, I still eat that pasta, right?
Yeah.
When he showed me the location of the location of where he bought it,
yeah,
I go there myself to buy it sometimes.
Is it African?
No, it wasn't African. It was how should I put it? It was Arabian kind of touch.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Arabian touch.
What's the name of the place?
I don't know, but I just know the location. I drive there to go by.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought of reading the stuff. Yeah. So that is it basically. So my dad actually brought me the McDonald's, so we didn't have to go to the shop and all that.
Right.
So when I just went in and I was eating in the car because I didn't eat in the flight. I didn't like the food. So I was just taking the juice and all that and the waters.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to know, how life treated you until you became the pretty woman that you are right now. So how did you go by it?
I would say it's been tough.
Tough?
Tough.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's hear it.
So in 2013, when I got here, I had to go to high school. Well, I didn't have to go to high school. Was it high school? No, middle school, sorry. Because I had to write a test and I had passed it, but they said that they couldn't just shove me into grade 9 because grade 9 was partially almost done. So they said just do 2 months of grade 8 and then just start grade 9 afresh. So I did that because my dad didn't want me to stay home. And high school was it was a little tough because I feel like maybe I was just in my head, but I think I was bullied. Not that I think I was. I didn't have a great experience in high school, and I think that's why I started just paying attention to my books because it just. I don't know. I just never cared for human interactions as much. Going from a place back home, like in Ghana, I used to live with my entire family, like extended family. So it just felt like I had everybody around me, right? To come here where I was by myself with only my parents, and then to go to school and then feel like you're not really accepted or that you don't have anybody. It was just a huge transition for me. And for me being a teenager, like being young and I think I was very fragile. Yeah. I felt like I needed some type of guidance or some type of support, which I didn't have, unfortunately. So I had a hard time transitioning into the country, I'd say that. And I feel like I lost parts of myself. Like I went from being that person in the class who was just rowdy, everywhere. Like literally you can ask all of my friends back home. I used to be the loudest person in the class. You know, names of talkatives. My name was always on that page. Or like it was just crazy. Like to go from being that person who was so chatty, wouldn't shut the hell up. Like I was always talking, to coming here where I felt like I was just by myself and it was hard for me to just navigate. It was just a huge blow to me in a way, to my personality. I feel like I started hiding myself so much to a point that I feel like I've lost bits of who I was. After high school, I applied to university. I started uni. I met a bunch of people. It was a great experience, I would say, uni. But the only downside for that was that I ended up not quite knowing where I wanted to go after uni. Reason being was because I was working. And I feel like I wasn't paying attention to why I was there. Like instead of just paying attention on getting good, like, you know, good GPA, grade, I was just more so, I don't want to have debts after university. I don't want to, so I have to, you know, find a way to, so I was working so many hours. Like I'd be on the school bus, like trying to get to school and I'm like knocked out, you know, like I'm like, it was bad. Like, and instead of me to just, again, that lack of guidance, not having someone to tell you, hey, do it this way and not this way. It really, really impacted me, and I feel like it really affected me. So thankfully, I ended up meeting a friend at school who told me, hey, like if this isn't working out for you, how about you apply for dental hygiene? I heard this program is really good. They get paid really well. That's how I got into hygiene. And so far, I would say life has been great. Alhamdulillah, like life is great. Like from where I started to where I am today, I'm so grateful for life. But yeah, and I think when it comes to personality wise, I'm learning to come out of my shell a little bit more. I watch videos on YouTube, like Diary of the CEO. There's just a bunch of like, you know, advice, a bunch of podcasts out there that just help you just understand that like you shouldn't be scared to show yourself. If anything, show yourself and let people choose to, you know,
be in your life or
exactly not. Or not. Instead of trying to be like, oh, am I stepping on this person's toes? Am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this right? Just be you, who you are, and let people be attracted to you for who you are. So yeah,
that's perfect. Like I like the way you ended it. You know, that's great. And what you said, I feel like you're really, really, really strong person. I mean, being able to battle all that you did. You know. It's really good, and I'm sure a lot of girls are going through similar situations, and then I hope that this video gets to them, and then
I hope so too.
Yeah, so that they can get something out of it. Because with what you said, it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. Like, I really appreciate you being who you are. I mean, trying and getting to where you are right now. You understand? Because a lot of people would have given up. Right? Or would have picked a certain lifestyle that's not right. But you're able to pull through, and then, you know, I'm really proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of you.
What about you? How was your transition?
Well, my transition, I could say the same thing, you know. I was really lively back home. I mean, I'm not somebody that I can't say that I'm always out, but there are places that I enjoy being. I like being in the company of my friends, you know. Going to places to go sit. I mean, enjoy each other's company, and then I like to drive a lot as well. I like to take long road trips, and you know, and all that. But unfortunately, when I got into this place, I wasn't able to do that at first. You know, besides, I wasn't driving when I got here earlier because, you know, getting a license over here is crazy. So you have to go through series of tests before you can get a license, right? So yeah. But fortunately for me, when I go here, I mean, my first week, with the help of your dad, I mean, and you know, he actually, let's say, played a part in me acquiring my G1 license, right? Yeah, he played a good part applying my G1 license, and then when I got it, and then, you know, we had to wait for my what is it called, my abstract, you know, to get into that we can book for G license straight, right? So I didn't go through G2,
the whole
because I already had my experience back home.
Right.
So we waited for the abstract. When the abstract came in, and then we had to go give them, and then I booked my G, and then I think the following week or 2 weeks after, I was able to go to Lindsay, and I got it. I got my G license. Yeah, so three of us on that very day. I mean, the guy that took us, all of us got a G license. So alhamdulillah for that, because I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been to much places, right? But I feel like Canada's driving system. I mean, acquiring a license in Canada is so difficult.
It is.
It's so difficult.
It takes so long.
So long. But yet still, I mean, people still, get accidents. It's crazy. With all that. Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to just, address or bring up was the fact that Canada is so or people here are very hyper focused on this hyper individuality. Everybody just wants to be on their own.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us who are coming from different countries, for instance, Indians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, you come from countries where you literally live with extended family.
Most definitely.
You live with people around you. And for you to come to a country, I feel like a lot of people end up battling with depression because to go from having so many people around you, people you could just get up and go to someone's house. Whereas you come to Canada,
it's not like
you can't just show up. You have to call the person in advance and be like, hey, I want to come to yours on Sunday. Can I,
That's crazy,
to go from it just strips you, I feel of who you are, just that human interaction. We're as human beings, I feel like we need human interactions. You can't survive. It is. You can't survive on your own. But Canada just has this way of just making you so lonely, and I don't know. It does a number on people, and I feel like that's why there's so many people who are depressed or taking antidepressants or taking so many anti-anxiety medications because there's no sense of community. You just don't feel like you belong anywhere, and it's quite sad. But
that's a good information to share. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. And some people even go to the extreme of committing suicide and all that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's not good.
Yeah. Not to say that suicide doesn't happen in other countries, but it's just that here you're more likely to feel lonely than, for instance, back home.
Yeah, it's good. And also, so I don't know if it's fair to ask you to compare Ghana and this place because you haven't really lived, your adult life in Ghana. So I don't know if it's fair to have you, compare the two. Yeah.
I would say in terms of work and in terms of advantages, I would say Canada, you have a higher likelihood of doing well in life. And when it comes to that social life balance, I think back home, nothing replaces back home because there's always that sense of community. You'll always feel like you're welcomed. So for people who might be struggling, maybe, going back home a couple of times or at least once a year, it might just rejuvenate. It might just build some type of energy, newfound love, newfound energy in you. It just makes you feel like at least I have some people who, care or something. But yeah, for work and finances wise, I think Canada's not bad because, back home it's hard to get into those fields where you'd actually make something.
You're right.
But
yeah. So
how do you find it?
Actually, I think I agree with you on this because it's not easy for somebody who is let's say socially oriented or family oriented to soak into this country.
It is.
It's really hard for somebody like that. But so I had to learn. I feel like, we are lucky, or I'm lucky, you understand? Because I feel like I've got my dad. I'm not a complacent person, right? So I don't, even though I like to do things on my own, I like to be guided as well, you understand? So there are steps that I would think about taking, but I don't take them. I seek advice from my dad because obviously he's my dad and he's been here longer, right? So he knows the way, ways around it. So I feel like with his guidance and with his presence, I mean, him trying to, show me how to move, I mean, around and all that. I feel like, yeah, that sense of, I mean, missing the social life back home is kind of, even though it's not entirely replacing it, but it's kind of giving me a sense of having somebody. You understand? So that's what I'm gonna say about that. But at home, like you said, home cannot be replaced.
No.
So in this case, it's subjective because someone will feel like because the person is so much into social lifestyle, they don't like this place, right? And somebody also will feel like they just want to get money and all that. So that person will also be like, he likes this place better. So we could say that it's subjective.
It is very, very subjective. I agree with that 1000%. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything you'd want to add? You want to tell us?
My only thing is, if you're coming into to Canada, always seek a sense of community. Seek someone. There's this app called Eventbrite. You can go on there and attend different events, and maybe you might, get to socialize with people a little bit more. But if you have someone, I know texting is hard sometimes. Sometimes you forget to text people back. Don't lose that connection that you have with said person. Make sure that you're keeping up with people. We all get overwhelmed with work. We all get tired, but try your best to make sure that you're keeping up with your social life, because it can get overwhelming and it can get out of hand to a point that you feel so lonely and you're like, oh my God, I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have, so yeah, just make sure that you're reaching out to people and you're keeping up with people. Make sure that you're checking in on people. Doing all of these things help people also check up on you. Because you can't just sit there and just be expecting people to always be doing for you, whereas you're not doing for them. So just always be it gets exhausting, but always reach out to people. And
I think I agree with that. I mean, ever since we've been talking, I've been agreeing with you because all you've been saying is just facts and nothing but facts. I don't know if you woke up this morning and decided to speak facts. I don't know, because all that you've been saying is just 100%. So there's nothing to, and it's quite unusual because majority of the people that I talk to on the channel, like we mostly on the opposite sides. You get me? But with you, I feel like you just spoke facts, and I agree with you. Keep contact with people that check up on you, and don't lose it. Especially if you're in this place, right? In this country, like, you need it. You need it, no matter how little, even if it's just hi, how are you, and then the conversation ends. Make sure you don't lose it.
I agree.
So so guys, this is where we bring it to the end, and I thank you guys for being around. I mean, thank you for the support you've been giving me all along. As you can see, the channel is still building, right? So I would like you guys to keep liking and keep commenting and then sharing it with your family and friends and anybody else in your network. So close it for me.
I'm glad to be here. I love the scenery. It's very beautiful. And thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
I think they're gonna enjoy it.
I hope you do.
Being the first female is just perfect. I'm glad it's you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.